Come and sit, Henry. That fool got me all worked up.
Shouldn't we be on patrol instead of drinking?
You're eager, aren't you? Don't worry, even watchmen are entitled to a break. Except the ones on the gate and the tower, of course. But that's enough about that. Let's not let it spoil our day. Listen, since we're sitting here anyway, how about a little game?
Why not?
That'll do me.
Pierwszym rzutem 1100. O, oczywiście.
This'll be the one.
Nie mam szczęścia w gościach.
This'll be the one. That's it. No point in pushing it. That's it. Oh no.
Może się uda, może się uda. 750.
To chcesz dokonać.
850.
Mówię.
I
What the
niestety.
hell's with these damn dice?
Zaryzykujemy. Ja.
Just one more thing and we're done for the night. Ringing the end of the day,
Kurwa, co?
closing the taverns.
Isn't it still a bit early?
I don't know how it was in
Are you
Scarlet, but here in
serious?
Rattay we close up at this hour. Except of course during fairs and big festivals. Then we don't close at all.
Będę.
I see. Should I go and ring the bell?
If you wouldn't mind, the bell is hanging outside the rat house. Ring 3 times, then go to the Trader's Tavern by the market square and make sure the innkeeper closes up.
I'll do that.
Before I forget, it's forbidden to walk in Rattay at night without a torch. Here, take this one.
Idziemy dzwonić. Gdzie wasze pochodnie, kurde?
Not a word. I'm at my wit's end.
I z powrotem. Dzwonić dzwonkiem i wracać. To mamy zamknąć, to mamy zamknąć.
And the canon of St. Wenceslas in Olomouc was so drunk, he dragged the pig to the market square, saddled it up, and rode it out of the town gate. no, we can see that this wasn't going to end well. So, Sir Peter and I rode off to look for the good canon on his pig.
Did you find him?
We tracked the filthy beast down to a sty beyond Cronau. I mean, the beast with a tonsure on its head. We never found the real pig, but the Reverend was sound asleep in the pigsty.
Birds of a feather stick together. It seems the same goes for pigs and prelates. I toast, gentlemen, to pigs and prelates.
God save their bacon.
Sir Hans, forgive my intrusion, but I need...
Oh, but what? You want to join us? Want to buy us around? I'm afraid we don't drink with peasants. You're not in your village now, boy.
No, sir. Curfew's been rung. The alehouse is closing.
Nothing closes while I'm sitting here. If that's all, you're dismissed.
Are you out of your mind, lad? You can't cross his lordship. He's got a temper like a bear with gut ache. If I was you, I'd get lost before he shows it.
The bailiff instructed me to close the tavern at the proper hour. He doesn't want anyone disturbing the peace after curfew.
The bailiff? The bailiff can kiss my arse. I trust you haven't forgotten who's the rightful lord of Rattay.
No, it's Sir Hannes.
Oh, is he here? What is he hiding under the table, maybe? No! Then what he wants isn't worth a fart in a bathhouse. And besides, he's only in charge till I grow up.
Which clearly hasn't happened yet.
Enough! You can't talk to me like that. I'm a nobleman.
Come now, sirs. You're not going to fight here, are you?
We most definitely are. This yokel needs to be taught his place.
Już raz mu w pierdziel spuściłem. Jeszcze raz chcę, tak?
Crucifix! What in the name of Christ is happening here? Well, answer me, damn you!
This peasant insulted me. I had to teach him a lesson.
By rolling around in the mud like a hog? That's a fine example of noble conduct.
Sir Hannes, the bailiff ordered me
Silence! You shut your mouth and thank your lucky stars that you are Radzig's ward. Have you gone out of your mind? Raising your hand to a nobleman? And you, Hans, how many times have I told you that drinking with your subjects might be good for their morale, but it's bad for your honor? spend all your days drinking and chasing wenches, which wouldn't matter if you paid any attention at all to your duties. And now we see what that leads to. Tomorrow, you will go with me to a hearing. Some landowners have asked me to settle a dispute. It'll be an excellent lesson for you.
I had planned to go hunting, but if you think listening to the pointless gripes of a bunch of old fools will benefit me, so be it.
Oh, hunting. Well then, Your Grace, I'll tell you what. You can go hunting.
Really?
Naturally. Who am I to deprive the young Lord Capon of his sport? And you can take Henry here as your page.
Him? Absolutely not.
You'll do as I've commanded. It's time you learned how to lead people, and not just in drinking and brawling. Now get out of my sight.
Sir, I have responsibilities as the bailiff.
Not anymore. Your responsibilities now are the Lord Capon. It's time you learned how to behave in the presence of nobility. Let's go. Tell the kitchen I'm hungry. It's been a long journey.
I wiped this just a while ago.
No niechaj i tak będzie.
Good day to you.
Do you know if there's anyone around here who could use my help?
Could be. You're the blacksmith's son from Scarlet's, ain't ya? The bailiff here could probably use you. He's got some jobs for the Scarlet's refugees, but he's not sure who's good for what. He was moaning about it here yesterday.
Czyli co, idziemy się przespać i do rana. Mam nadzieję, że ta nasza coś ugotowała. Godzinka spania.
Jesus Christ be praised.
No, be praised, be praised. Pohandlujmy. Zobaczmy, za ile
Can we
się
do
uda
something about the
sprzedać.
price?
Sure, why not?
Przyjdziesz?
Satisfied?
60? 60, mój drogi?
Close. Drop the price a bit more and we'll shake on it.
58?
Is this enough?
That's better. Drop in a bit more and we'll call it a deal.
No, come on, Gamoniu, come on.
See now, I knew we'd come to an agreement.
No dobra, idźmy na to polowanie. Właśnie, czy myśmy nie mieli poziomu? Mieliśmy. No, jakieś ciekawe skille są. Czyli nie ma jakoś nic specjalnego. No, biorąc pod uwagę, że używamy teraz short sworda, stab //.
Mówisz do mnie, Karol?
Dość sam do siebie gadam. Jak zwykle.
Staram być.
Dobra, można iść na to polowanie.
Here I am. I'm overjoyed. Have you got a horse?
No, sir. Where would someone like me get a horse?
Good point. Unless it was a cart horse, I suppose. Well, you'll just have to trot along behind me like a good dog.
But, sir, isn't there a horse I could borrow?
Oh, certainly. Why don't you just have mine? Or, then again, you can just run alongside as befits a peasant. What the hell?
No naprawdę nie mogę żadnego konia wziąć.
Ilu widzów ci gromadzi ten Kingdom?
Niewielu. No ludzie, wiesz, na tą grę boom już się skończył.
No chyba żebyś miał profil po prostu stricte pod RPG na przykład i rzeczy typu Warhammer Total War. To podejrzewam, żeby było inaczej. Ale daj tą twoją siłą napędową jest World of Tanks?
Mhm. Bo ja biegnę szybciej niż ty jedziesz, gamoń.
Look here, blacksmith. About that business at the alehouse.
Yes, sir?
Hanush was right. I should have behaved differently. More, well, gentlemanly. But that doesn't mean you were in the right. You can't throw a lord out of the tavern in his own town. Understand?
Yes. I was just...
What? Speak up! Don't worry, I won't bite your head off.
It's just that when you said those things in the arena, sir, I was, a little upset.
Ah! I just like to tease greenhorns a little. And you vexed me too. You were insolent to Captain Bernard and they rewarded you with service. Whenever I do anything reckless, even if it's for my honor, Hanush is on my back about it and I get punished. Like now.
I didn't mean to threaten anyone.
Well, it's all water under the bridge. Let's not spoil our hunt.
Ale konia to żeś mi nie dał, gamoniu.
Ale ty masz już konia tego swojego, od tego
Nie, jeszcze nie.
drabcika? A. A nie w dupi
Let's
pan
talk of
jesteś.
something else. Is this your first time?
To jest kunia.
This kind? Yes.
I've been hunting since I could walk. If you're not a complete blockhead,
Dobrze, że chociaż gębę można sobie za darmo
and if
umyć.
you don't copy
Hebali.
entirely today, maybe I'll take you again. It's always helpful to have a minion at hand.
As I said, I have hunted before, but it wasn't...
Chasing bunnies with a pitchfork isn't hunting. Observe and learn.
I'll do the best I can, sir.
Długo tak będziemy napierdzielać?
Jakiego questa teraz garniesz?
Idę polować.
I rozbudowujesz postać.
To ask you about scallops.
I don't know if... that is, sir, I don't know if that's a suitable topic of
Najprostszy
conversation.
dostępny sposób.
We're not hunting yet. I'd like to hear about it at last from someone who was actually there.
The Cumans attacked Skallets and, anyone who didn't flee.
That's what they all say. I want details.
Is it really necessary, sir?
Arguing with the nobility again, eh? It seems you're a bit of a rebel.
No, not at all, sir. It's just that... well, it's hard for me to talk about.
I see. So I'll have to get you drunk first.
Not sure even that would work.
We'll have to find out, won't we? There's a nice little place just north of here. We'll camp there and you can tell me all about it.
If you wish, sir.
And don't dilly-dally. Let's try and get there before the day's out.
Wreszcie, kurde. Taki hektar biec to...
We'll make camp here. Bring me wine and bacon from the saddlebag.
Jasne.
Coming up, sir.
At long last. So, are you enjoying being on the hunt?
I am, although we haven't actually hunted anything yet.
That doesn't matter. Hunting is a diversion. The main thing is to get out of Rattay for a while. Listening to Hanush's lectures all day long would drive anyone mad.
How come Hanush looks after you anyway?
For a start, he doesn't look after me. I'm not an infant blacksmith's boy. Hanush is just managing my property until I'm an adult.
When will that happen?
What are you implying?
Nothing. I didn't mean it like that. I meant that you seem quite adult to me already, sir.
Well, it's hard to say. Before he died, my father appointed a council of nobles to decide the matter. Only they can't be bothered travelling halfway across the country just to assess the claim of some stripling. Under normal circumstances, it wouldn't be necessary. The king would decide on my adulthood. Only...
The king is gone.
Just so.
If I may ask, sir, what does a lord like you do all day?
When I was little, I was awfully bored, I can tell you. There was always some courtier or teacher dogging
A ty się z Twitcha na YouTube'a przeniosłeś?
Now I spend most
Ty
of my
jesteś tu i
time
tu.
trying to learn from Sir Hanush.
Znaczy nie, z tego będzie po prostu gameplay na
At
YouTubie.
least most of the time.
Aha.
Only last week I had to listen to complaints from my subjects.
But that could be interesting too, couldn't it?
Poradnik.
My lord, this yokel here empties his piss pot in my yard. And sir, that old hag put a spell on my cow. And sir, my old woman is fucking half the village. Like a flock of sheep, bleating all the time. Even study is more interesting.
What are we going to hunt?
Humans.
What? Humans? But
You should see your face. I got you there. We'll see what we can get. But I'd like to bag a boar. One, at least. And a few hares too, eh? But what about you? Before I couldn't get a word out of you, now your tongue's loosened. So, tell me about Skalitz. I heard Sigismund had 100 banners there.
I don't know, sir. I didn't have time to count them. Both of my parents were killed in Skalitz, right in front of my eyes. The Cumans slaughtered my friends and neighbours, and it was a miracle I got away. I don't know what else I can add.
I'm sorry about that. But tell me, I heard in the tavern...
What, that Sigismund flew down on a dragon? That the Cumans have horns and hooves? I'm sorry, my lord, but for me, Skalitz isn't a tale of adventure to share over a tankard of ale.
All right. I understand. Well, never mind. Anyway, it's too late to go anywhere today. But tomorrow we set off at first light. Got it?
Yes, sir.
Widzisz, że tłumy teraz? No. Weź, nie wszyscy Draco lubią RPG. Ale zresztą tak jak powiedziałem przed chwilą Farcikowi, boom na tą grę skończył się na Twitchu, tak? Po pierwszym tygodniu.
Nie no, bo fani takich gier po prostu lubią w nie grać, tu nie ma co oglądać, stary, wiesz co chodzi?
Nie, jest co oglądać. Wiesz, jednak mimo wszystko każdy
No nie
w
wiem,
RPG gra inaczej.